Hello, YouTube. So, a few months back, I had the option to become eligible to do Uber Eats pickups. So, I opted in, but it's like once you opt in, you're basically accepting to become eligible to do Uber Eats deliveries. Because a few days after I opted in, I get a message saying, "Congratulations, you're now eligible to do Uber Eats deliveries." I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I don't know if I'm going to do it, but okay. Because I opted in thinking that it was going to ask me, do I want to do Uber Eats? Yes or no. Something like that. But it wasn't like that. It's just like, once I opted in, I was basically opting in to do Uber Eats. Like, it didn't give me a choice. So, for my first request, my first Uber Eats request, I didn't realize that's what it was. But I noticed at the last split second, I realized that something was different about the request. Like, for example, when you get a passenger request, it shows people, and then it shows how many miles away it is. But when it's a food request, a Uber Eats, it'll show a burger, like an icon, like of a burger, and it's food, and let you know it's a food request. So that's what I seen at that split second, was that burger. So I didn't realize at first it was a Uber Eats request. So I'm driving there, and it was at a wing stop. So as I'm getting closer, I realized, wait a minute, I'm supposed to be picking up food. I'm like, wait a minute, I don't even have a bag. So I canceled it. So once I canceled it, I was asked what was my reason for canceling it. So I put, I don't have a bag. I don't. That's what I put. I don't have the bag, because I didn't, and I didn't want to take a chance of getting the food without a bag. So a few days later, I got the bag. Okay. Well, for a while, I would get Uber Eats requests, but I wasn't taking any. So finally, I got the message asking me. Well, I got the message saying if I wish to no longer receive Uber Eats requests, just opt out. So that's what I did. I requested to not receive Uber Eats requests again. But they let me know that it may take 24 hours before, it goes through, before they stop coming in. Until then, I would still get them. I said, okay, fine. How about weeks later, they were still throwing them at me. I was like, wait a minute, I thought I opted out to stop receiving them, but they were still sending me the request, but I wasn't taking them. I don't want to do Uber Eats. I'm not taking them. So, right now they got the promotion going on around Newark and Jersey City, and probably like Union City, West New York, those areas. Like, you do 3 trips in a row, you get something extra. Like, and it varies from time to time. It may be $5 sometimes, it may be $7.50, it may be $9. I seen it as high as 12, which is pretty good. So this particular night, it was at $10. So that's pretty good. So I said, I'm gonna keep doing these 3 trips. I don't care if they're short trips. I'm gonna get my 3 trips and get that extra $10. That's basically like an extra trip, or maybe a couple of extra trips. If you consider that they're short trips, it could be almost 3 extra trips at $10. Because at a minimum, what is it, like $3.96 that you'll get paid for short trips? So you figure that's like almost 3 extra trips. So I did 2 trips. I only had one more to do to get extra $10. How about they threw a food delivery at me? I said, you people knew that I wasn't going to accept that trip, so you threw a food delivery at me so I wouldn't get an extra $10. So I missed out on the $10, of course. So a couple of nights later, it happened again. It was at what was it? It was at $10. So I said, they're probably gonna do it again. So I was on my second trip. I like, why should throw Uber Eats delivery at me? Once again, they did it again. So I'm like, you know what? I'm taking this one. So I took it. That's what made me first take the Uber Eats delivery. So I took it. So I had to go to a McDonald's. It was a pickup from McDonald's, the one on Clinton Avenue, like going towards downtown Newark. So I pulls up in there. So being this is my first time, I didn't know if I had to go in the restaurant or go to the drive-thru, which it was like 4 something in the morning. So I figured the place is probably closed, but it was well lit. So I got out the car and tried, and the place was closed, of course. So I went back to the car and I checked out the order. He ordered a couple of things. It was like a McGriddle. It was like a egg McMuffin. It was an order of pancakes. It was 3 drinks. He ordered. He had a decent order. So I'm sitting in the car, and some workers come out, and they're like, "You Uber?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm here for Uber." No, well, before they came out, I actually called McDonald's first because I remember watching a video from this guy. He goes by the bearded Uber driver, black guy with the beard. You know him if you see him, but he gives a lot of good information. But I remember watching one of his videos, and he mentioned in the video that it's a good idea to call the place and make sure that the order hasn't been canceled, because sometimes drivers that go places and the order being canceled and they don't know. So I called McDonald's because you have their number, you can call them. So I called them and I asked them, "Is the order still valid?" I said, I'm doing an Uber Eats pickup for such and such. Is the order still valid?" He said, "Oh yes, it's still valid, but it's going to be a few minutes." I said, "Oh, okay. Now I'm just calling to make sure it hasn't been canceled." He said, "Oh, you want to cancel it?" I said, No. I was calling to make sure it hasn't been canceled because I've heard that drivers show up to the places sometime and the order has been canceled and they didn't know. He said, "Oh, okay." He said, No, it's still valid, but give it a few minutes, okay?" I said, "Oh, okay, no problem." He said, "Thanks." I said, "Okay." So a few minutes later, the 2 workers came out and they said, "You Uber?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm waiting for a pickup. I got a pickup for somebody." They said, "Oh, okay. It'll be ready in a few." So a couple of minutes later, one of them brought the food out to me. And I thought that was pretty good. I didn't have to get out to get the food. They actually brought it to the car. It was like, "Here you go." I said, "Thanks." So once I got the food, that's when you start the trip. So from that point, I'm taking that's where the trip actually starts. That's where you start getting paid. After you get the food from the restaurant, that's where you get paid. It's just like, I guess, you're doing a regular passenger pickup. You don't get paid until you pick up the passenger, until they get in the car and you start the trip. So I started the trip, and I had to take it to Georgia King Village. Those 2 towers off of Market Street. And the funny thing is, there's a McDonald's right there, but at this time it's under renovation, which I call it, in my own words, they're doing a McDonald's upgrade. They're making it more modernized, so they had to order further away. So I took them their food, and as I was approaching, he called me and told me he'd meet me at the gate. So I said, okay. So that was good because, it's good if they can come to the car and you can just hand over the food and be out. So I handed him the food, handed him the drinks. He had help, because I had to give the other person the drinks. Now, you would think if you want to get a guaranteed tip, you would do Uber Eats, right? However, this person did not tip. I'm cool with that. It's all good, but no, they didn't tip. So I'm just letting y'all know, Uber Eats doesn't guarantee you a tip. Everybody's not going to tip. Just like everybody don't tip with trips, everybody don't tip with Uber Eats. But I would think that you would get tipped more with Uber Eats, meaning that you're delivering somebody's food. That was my first Uber Eats, so I said, oh well, maybe if I do 10 one day, maybe 6 of them are tip. So, I gave him the food, and I was on my way. Now, I've done 2 more Uber Eats since then. The second one was in New Brunswick. I had a pickup from Popeyes, and as I got to the street, they didn't have an apartment number. They just had the street name. They didn't even have the number of the they didn't even have the address number. It was a complex. The street was short. I seen that on the way there, so I thought when I got there the person would be out, but they wasn't. So I get to the street and I called the person. They didn't answer the phone. Now, if you got an Uber Eats delivery, you looking for food, it seems to be like you will be waiting for it, or you'll be by your phone waiting for a phone call, but this person didn't pick up. So I sent Uber a message saying that I'm trying to get in touch with them and they're not picking up. So I guess they got in touch with the person. They say you have to wait. I seen like you said wait a minute, or you have to wait 1 minute, I guess, for them to get in touch with the passenger, with the person that the food belongs to. So probably like 2 minutes later, I get a call from the lady that I'm supposed to be delivering the food to. She asked me, where am I? I said, oh, I'm on your street, but I don't know where to go to because you only have the street address. You don't have the apartment number. So she said, yeah, I'm right outside. I'm right at the door. I said, oh, okay. I said, do you see a gray car? She said, oh, yeah, I think that's you up there. I'm right behind you. I said, okay, let me put my hazards on to make sure that that's me you're looking at. So I put my hazard lights on. She said, yeah, that's you. Just back up a little bit. I said, oh, okay. So I'm looking. I'm like, dang, I still don't see her. So as I backed up a little more, I looked out. She said, I'm wearing blue. So I looked around and said, oh, okay, there you go. So I actually had to get out. I actually got out the car. I walked across the street and handed her the food. She didn't come to the car, but it's all good. She was there. I got out. I gave her food. Once again, no tip. I'm like, oh, okay. So that's 2 Uber Eats. No tip still. No problem. Because I don't know. Maybe they're low. They're low on they low on their budget. They can't afford it. They barely can afford the food they're getting. But you gotta eat. It happens sometimes. Maybe that's what it is. I'm like, oh, whatever. It's all good. But here's the thing. When you order from Domino's, I will hope that you tip your Domino's delivery driver. I will hope you tip them. I always tip them. Always. So why wouldn't you want to tip your Uber driver that's delivering your food? Now, I know some people probably think, oh, they get paid already. They don't need a tip. Trust me, everybody that gets paid always want more money. I don't care how rich they are. Doctors, lawyers, always want more money. You think they're going to turn money down? You think they're going to say, oh, well, I already make money, so I'm going to cut you a break. You don't have to pay. No, they want their money. All right? So you should want to tip your Uber driver if you can. If you can't do it, I understand. Like, you really can't do it if that's the last bit of your money you're spending. Because some of us go through that. Like, we got to eat. And we got to scrap for change to eat. Like, if that's your case, I understand. Trust me. I'm not selfish like that. I understand. But if you can tip your driver, you should tip him. I don't care if it's $1. You should tip something. I mean, we delivering your food. You should tip. Especially if I got to get out the car. You should tip. But if you don't feel it in your heart to tip, keep your money. I'm going to keep doing what I do because I think it's a cool thing to do a good service for somebody, and for somebody to be able to get food delivered to them 24/7. It's a good thing. If I'm out 3 a.m. and I deliver your food, I feel like I've done something good. But you should want to tip your driver. But this weekend, I just got another Uber Eats request in Newark. And when I got the request, the McDonald's was 10 minutes away. I was like, okay, it must not. be a lot of drivers out. I'm 10 minutes away from McDonald's. They must really need that food. But then again, it could be that maybe they had a closer driver, but maybe they turned down a trip, just like I was doing at first. I was turning them all down. Maybe that's what happened. So I went and got the food. I had to go through the drive-through this time to get the food. I parked, and the workers happened to be outside. A couple of workers, they told me, "Oh, we're closed, honey." I said, "Oh, okay. I'm here to pick up Uber Eats delivery." They said, "Oh, okay. You got to go to the drive-through." I said, "Okay." So I just went to the drive-through. I said, "Oh, I have an Uber Eats delivery," And they said, "Oh, okay. Just go to the second window." And they had it ready. They had it in a brown bag already. So I didn't have to put it in my bag, like the bag that they give us to put the food in. I didn't have to use it that time because they already had it in a brown bag. That's why I mentioned earlier, sometimes you're not going to need the bag, because in that case, I didn't need it because they had it in one of their big brown bags. So I got the food. I actually had to deliver it to Kearney, right across the river. Geographically, it was straight across. Like, I looked on the map, the dude's apartment was straight across the river. Like, if I was able to go straight across from McDonald's to Kearney, it was right there. But being that river is there, I had to go up across the little bridge and then back down. Like 9 minutes away, I remember. The ETA said 9 minutes away. So I delivered this food, and as he was coming out, he already had the cash in hand. I said, "There's a tip." $5 tip. It's always good to get a cash in hand tip. I'm telling you, even though they can tip through the app, it's always good still to get cash in hand. And that's another thing. Them other two people, they could have tipped me through the app and they still didn't. But like I said, it's all good, man. I'm still going to continue doing what I do, and Uber Eats is kind of fun. It's kind of interesting, and it gives you a chance to get out your car and stretch, because as drivers, we got to stretch. That's a good way to get out and stretch your legs. You got to get out and go in a restaurant, because it's not good to sit down too long for anybody. And as a driver, we tend to do that a lot. We're driving for 2-3 hours without getting out. You got to get out, take those breaks. Sometimes what I do is, when I drop somebody off at a mall and it's been 2 hours, I'll park my car and I'll go in the mall, walk a little bit, do some wish shopping. Yeah, wish shopping. Wish I had some money to buy this stuff. Yeah, but no, I take those walks, man. And the malls are good places to do it. You're getting your walk, you're getting your stretch. But my advice is, if you're in Jersey and you want to do more Uber Eats, I believe the best part of Jersey to be in would be the northeastern part, like from New Brunswick on up. I say New Brunswick because there's a lot of college kids around there that may need deliveries, and then I got that Uber Eats request in New Brunswick. But I say New Brunswick on up would be the best. Like, I get some a lot in Jersey City. I think that's where I get the most at, when I'm in Jersey City. So that's my advice if you want to really get into it. Because down the shore, I never got any yet. I mean, a lot of people down there probably, they don't depend on transportation like they do up here in Jersey City. A lot of people in Jersey City, they actually depend on transportation. And now they have the ability to get food delivered to them 24 hours. So they don't need cars. You think about it, they don't need a car. They can have food brought to them now. They can get on a train, they can get an Uber. They don't need cars. And it's hard to park a lot of places. In Jersey City, it's about like being in New York, some areas. So it's a good thing to be able to have food delivered to you. So if you want to get into Uber Eats, I would say be around Jersey City and Newark. It's probably the best places. Paramus, because Paramus, they got a lot of restaurants. So Paramus, another good area. The area around there, even like Union City, West New York, all of theirs up there. You get them, but especially Jersey City. I think I get the most when I'm in Jersey City, and I'm going to start accepting more of them, because they're pretty interesting, and it's good to be able to smell that food. When that food gets in your car, it's a good smell. but it gives you a chance to get out your car and stretch your legs, and you're still getting paid for it. Now your pay starts after you get the food. It starts where you get once you start the trip from the restaurant. It's just like you picking up a person. Once you pick up the food, that's where you start getting paid. So it's basically like a regular trip. But Uber Eats is good if you get a tip every time, especially if it's a $5 tip. Uber Eats will be the place to be to get tips. Because I can pick up 20 people one day and maybe only 2 of them a tip. So I say maybe if I pick up 10 people, maybe 6 of them a tip. That'd be good. But as always, until next time, Uber drivers, Lyft drivers, cab drivers, whatever driver you are, let's get it.